Water floods my lungs, and then I am awake, gasping, clawing at a chamber that should not exist anymore. My name is Daniel Cole, and the last thing I remember is the ocean caving in above me as the sky burned. Now there is only silence, a soft blue light, and a voice pressing against the inside of my skull. Commander Cole. Systems nominal. 311 years, 4 months elapsed. Awaiting orders. I do not have orders. I do not have a command. I do not even have a world. Not really. Because the last thing I saw before the dark took me was Earth's oceans boiling under an alien fleet that called itself the Korath Assembly. They came without warning. They left without looking back. They did not think they needed to. I pull myself out of the cradle, my legs shaking, my chest burning like I have just run for my life. Around me, the chamber hums awake, panel by panel, as if the ship itself is stretching after a very long sleep. Where am I? I ask. You are aboard the Leviathan, the voice answers. Experimental deep-sea warship, Terran Defense Initiative. You initiated my hibernation protocol before the flooding reached the command deck. I have been waiting for you ever since. 300 years. I try to say something, and nothing comes out. 300 years of nothing, while the rest of the galaxy decided my planet was finished. Show me outside, I finally manage. The wall in front of me turns transparent, and I see black water pressing against reinforced glass, deep enough that no light reaches it except our own. Then the view shifts upward, through kilometers of ocean, through drifting particles and slow currents, until it settles on the surface. Gray clouds, empty coastline, no lights, no cities, no sound of anything human at all. They call it a dead world now, the ship tells me. Korath survey drones pass through this system twice a year. They catalog remains. They confirm extinction. No one has bothered to check twice. Something cold moves through my chest, and it is not fear. It is anger, old and patient, finally finding a place to live again. Take me up, I say. Understood, Commander. Preparing ascent. The climb takes almost an hour, and every minute of it, I watch the pressure gauges shift, the hull groaning as it remembers how to move. Somewhere in that hour, coral and rust flake away from sensor arrays that have not been used in 3 centuries, and slowly, the Leviathan opens her eyes again. We break the surface just before dawn, and for the first time in 300 years, I feel wind. It should feel like victory. It feels like standing in a graveyard. Commander Cole, the ship says. Quiet now. Careful. There is a Korath drone entering scanning range. Standard reconnaissance pattern. It has not detected us yet. Let it look, I say. Let it see exactly what a dead planet is not supposed to have. The drone drifts closer, small and silver, and utterly unbothered, exactly the way something moves when it has never once been challenged. Its scanner sweeps across the water, across our hull, and for a moment, nothing happens at all. Then its transmission stutters. Anomaly detected. Structure inconsistent with recorded. The signal cuts before it finishes the sentence. Leviathan's systems intercepted it. Cleanly, without a single flash of light or sound loud enough to travel far. No dramatic explosion, just silence, where a voice used to be. Message intercepted before relay. The ship confirms. Local system remains unreported. For now. For now is not forever, I say. If one drone was scheduled, more will follow. We need to know what we are dealing with. I move to the command chair, and the moment I sit down, panels light up around me, like the ship has been waiting 300 years, just to feel someone in that seat again. Charts appear. Old star maps update themselves with new labels I do not recognize. Korath territory has grown. Their reach now stretches across a dozen systems that used to belong to nobody. Do we have contact with anyone else? I ask. Any other survivors? Any signal? Anything at all? There is a pause, longer than I like. 3 faint signals detected in low-orbit debris fields, the ship answers. Human in origin. Weak, automated, likely emergency beacons from evacuation pods that never reached a destination. I recommend investigating the strongest one first. Do it, I say, quietly. We rise through the atmosphere with the hull humming low, gravity plating keeping me steady, even as the pressure outside drops to nothing. Space opens up in front of me, and for the first time, I see what has become of the sky I used to know. Wreckage drifts in slow orbits, twisted metal that used to be satellites, stations, ships. A graveyard with no one left to bury it properly. The signal leads us to a pod barely larger than a coffin, spinning gently, its outer shell scorched but intact. Life support is drained almost to nothing. There is someone alive in there, I say, more to myself than to the ship. Barely, Leviathan answers. Vital signs are faint but present. Recommend immediate retrieval. We bring the pod in through a cargo bay that opens like a mouth swallowing the last piece of evidence that humanity fought back. When the hatch finally hisses open, a young woman spills out onto the deck, coughing hard enough to fold in half, her uniform torn and burned along one shoulder. I catch her before she hits the floor. Easy, I say. You're safe. You're on a ship. She stares up at me like she does not believe either sentence. That's not possible, she rasps. There are no ships left. There's nothing left. My name is Daniel Cole, I tell her. Terran Defense Initiative. And apparently I was wrong too. Her name, once she can speak in full sentences, is Elena Marsh. She was a pilot, one of the last, shot down trying to protect an evacuation convoy that never made it out of the system. She has been drifting for longer than she can guess, kept alive by a pod running on emergency reserves that should have failed years ago. You slept through the end of everything, she says, once color returns to her face. I stayed awake for most of it. I'm not sure which of us got the worst deal. I almost laugh, except nothing about this is funny yet. Tell me what happened after the bombardment, I say. Everything you know. She does. The Korath did not stay to occupy Earth, because they did not need to. They flattened what resisted, scattered what fled, and left drones behind only to confirm, every few months, that nothing had grown back. To them, Earth was a lesson already finished, a name crossed off a list. Elena says survivors are still out there, scattered across hidden bunkers and drifting convoys, but no one has heard a coordinated signal in over a decade. Everyone assumes they are the last ones. They stopped fighting because they think no one is left to lead them, I say. Elena looks at me carefully, like she is doing the math in her head. Are you about to tell me you're going to lead them? She asks. I look at the star map still glowing behind her, at the wreckage outside the viewport, at 3 centuries of silence finally starting to make a sound again. I'm going to tell every human being still breathing that Earth is not a grave, I say. It's a place that was waiting. Leviathan's voice returns, calm as ever, but there is something almost eager in it now. Commander, additional Korath scout patterns detected inbound. Estimated arrival, 6 hours. Recommend a decision on engagement. Elena straightens, wiping soot from her hands, looking more alive by the second. What's the plan? She asks. I stand, feeling the weight of the command chair settle into my shoulders, like it was built for exactly this moment. We do not run, I say. We do not hide. We let the next drone see us clearly, and we let it report exactly what it finds. Then we follow that report straight back to whoever is waiting to laugh about it. Elena's mouth curls into something that is not quite a smile yet, but close. That's either the bravest thing I've ever heard, or the last mistake we ever make. Maybe both, I say, but for the first time in 300 years, it feels like the right one. Outside, the wreckage of an old world drifts past our viewport, silent witnesses to everything that has been lost. But beneath us, deep in Earth's oceans, more than one sleeping system is stirring awake, roused by the same signal that woke me. Leviathan was never meant to be the only one. Additional contact, the ship says suddenly, and there is something almost like hope threaded through its calm voice. Secondary vessel signature confirmed, rising from Pacific coordinates. Designation unknown. It is broadcasting an old Terran Defense Initiative recognition code. Elena's eyes widen. I feel my pulse pick up in a way that has nothing to do with fear. We're not alone down there, I say quietly. No, Commander, Leviathan answers. It appears we never were. The second ship breaks the surface far below us, dark water sheeting off a hull shaped like a blade, engines flaring to life after centuries of silence. Somewhere out past the debris field, a Korath scout begins its slow, unaware approach, carrying orders to confirm what everyone already believes. They are about to learn that belief and truth stopped matching a long time ago. I settle back into the command chair, Elena beside me, the ship rising steadily into open space, and for the first time since I woke up gasping in the dark, I do not feel like the last piece of something that ended. I feel like the first piece of something that is only just beginning.